Alright y'all, welcome back to the channel and to another turkey pattern test video here. If you hear banging and horns and stuff in the background, don't worry, just try to ignore it. It's the neighbors doing some work. I apologize, but that's what we're working with today. But I've got a new choke to test out today and I'm really excited to see what it can actually do. So the setup we're running today is the Remington 1187 Premier. This time I've got the new Avian-X Crusher. This is a 665 constriction choke. And I don't know if you can tell, but on the choke here, there's these little notches all around the choke here. I really like that feature. It's just something I noticed immediately. It will allow you to get some kind of a wrench or something on your choke if it ever gets rusted into your gun from turkey hunting in the rain or duck hunting in the rain or whatever the case might be. I really like that feature. I think more choke companies should put something like that on their chokes to where you can actually get them out a lot easier if something were to ever happen and you would have a choke rusted or stuck in the end of your barrel. But I've seen some intriguing results so far out of the little bit I've seen out of these Crusher chokes. They seem to do pretty well. So I'm excited to see what this one's capable of doing through my setup. And as for the ammo that we're going to be starting out with, we've got the Herter's 12 gauge TSS again. These are 12 gauge 2 3/4 inch number 9s. It's an 1.5 ounce payload going 1200 feet per second. These Herter shells have performed pretty good for a budget load out of my setup so far, especially the Kick 655. If you have not seen that video, I'll leave a card above. I highly recommend checking that out because that is pure performance for a $45 budget box of TSS shells. But with that being said, I've got the turkey target set up over here like usual at 40 yards from the bench. So let's head over there and put these Herter's budget TSS 2 3/4 inch shells through this new Crusher 665 and see if it shows promising results, or hey, this might be another lights out performer with these Herter shells. I don't know. So let's go over to the bench and see how they shoot. Alright, we're all set up back at the bench with the Avian-X Crusher 665 constriction. So let's run these Herter's 2 3/4 inch number 9s, 1.5 ounce payload through this 1187 and Crusher and see what this new Crusher can do on the paper. Alright, well, this is what we got out of that Avian-X Crusher. It's definitely a dead bird at 40 yards, but as you can see, I don't think there's enough constriction here. Now the core was definitely a touch to the left over here, but if you look at the entire pattern as a whole, it's pretty center. It's another kind of little bit goofy result. We've seen a couple of these out of these Herter shells in certain chokes where one side of the pattern is just really a bunch of flyers, I guess you could say, because they're all the way down in the corner down there. But I don't know. The core is definitely just a touch to the left there, but it's not a terrible pattern overall, but we have definitely seen better out of these Herter shells with that Kick 655. There's no doubt about that. I think these Herter shells just like to be choked down quite a bit more. Even in the 410, they shot really good out of my tight factory choke that I've got in that Mossberg 500. I don't know that that 665 was quite enough choke for this shell, but I don't know. It's still a budget shell, so maybe that's what we can expect out of it. But either way, it's not terrible. At least it gives us a baseline starting point for how this Avian-X Crusher is going to shoot. So what do y'all think? Do you like how that performed, or is it just a little bit more open than you'd like to see? I don't think that's quite enough constriction being 665 for these shells. Considering what we've already seen out of that Kick 655, these shells seem to like to be choked down quite a bit more. But as far as the Crusher itself, it doesn't seem to be terrible so far. I definitely think there's some other shells out there that it's going to like a lot better than these. That is, I'm hesitant to say it's a budget choke. It's $50, So I guess you could say mid-range price, but if you wanted to shoot these particular shells for one reason or another, spend the extra $10 and get a Kick 655, because they really shoot well through that choke. But I'm going to be doing a bunch more tests with this new Avian-X Crusher to see if we can find a shell combination that just jives with it. I still have high hopes for what that choke can do. I think where it's going to shine is larger payload, like lead 5s or maybe lead 6s, since it is that little bit more open 665 constriction over the 655 that we've tried these through before. So I still have high hopes for what that choke can actually do, but we're just going to have to test it and see. But all in all, I think that gives us a pretty decent starting point, if nothing else. It's not a bad pattern, but it's nothing super impressive either. It'll absolutely take you a bird at 40 yards, no question about that. But I was hoping for a little bit better, but I still think we can get that out of that Avian-X Crusher with a different shell combination. So leave a comment, let me know what you think about it. Are you happy with it? Are you just kind of meh on it like I am? It's okay, it's not terrible, it's nothing super amazing. Leave a comment, let me know what you think. I've got a few more tests to do out here today, hopefully before the rain comes in. It's starting to cloud up pretty quick. But good luck as y'all get out there this spring in the turkey woods, and until next time, I'll see y'all later.